Hey y'all, welcome back to a brand new episode of Get Since 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content on new music, entertainment news, and inspirational quotes. By me, the Queen, is back at it again. So, I want to share my 2 cents on this, and I was watching my brother's Tony Turner's video, and I have said this plenty of times as well on my YouTube channel, how Aaliyah deserves to have her own biopic, period. It needs to happen, period. And I'm going to be brutally honest, and as far as I'm concerned, as an Aaliyah fan, and like I said, I support Team Aaliyah as well. And since we are all a fan base, I will speak for Aaliyah fans too as well. Because here's the thing. We're not going to count that garbage that came out years ago, because that's not even a film, so it doesn't even count. And I've even ranted about that as well, because it should have never ever ever happened to begin with. But since we are moving forward with, like I said, Aaliyah's legacy, she deserves to get a biopic of her own. And because Aaliyah, she pretty much was iconic, legendary, we already know, but she deserves one, period. Just like the Jackson 5, the Jacksons got their own movie. Selena got her own movie. Whitney Houston got her own movie. Who else? Tupac got his own movie. Biggie, the notorious B.I.G. got his own movie. And oh yeah, Salt and Pepper, they gonna have their own movie on Lifetime coming out. So I'm like, okay. Then see, if Aaliyah's biopic was done the right way on Lifetime, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Period. We wouldn't have never even brought up. But see, that garbage was a catastrophe, so that's why we're bringing it up. And I've seen people's discussions and comments, and even Aaliyah fans, they're like, it should definitely happen. I really believe that if it's done right, and like I said, it's up to her family, because at the end of the day, it's her family who really, they're pretty much are still like in control of her legacy, and they pretty much have to be like the say so yes people to have permission for them to do a biopic. I feel like the Halsons, and listen, I don't know them, we don't even know them. I know they're good people, from what, like I said, we have known of them for years, since Aaliyah's music career has started. And I know, like I said, it's touching and bittersweet, but I feel like, at the end of the day, I feel like it should happen, because Aaliyah basically, not only did she change the game in music, but just culture, period. But since people want to see an Aaliyah biopic happening, here's my thing. Here are my suggestions. One thing, her family needs to have the permission. We need to get her family permission to do that. Two, I feel like Rashad, as her older brother, her still living sibling, he should be like the one to be like one of the executive producers, and her mother Diane, and also get some other people involved. Now I've read other suggestions which I do agree. Get Missy Elliott, Timbaland involved, people like close people that like had connections with Aaliyah. And for a biopic to even happen, here's my thing. I think we should just go for it. Why don't we just start a petition? Why don't we just say, listen, it's been long overdue. And listen, I know it's a risk, but it's okay, because I'm here for taking risks. I feel like we should do a petition to, like, we want an Aaliyah biopic. But also, keep in mind that we'll have to see what happens. I also like the fact that, Aaliyah and a biopic would be a great idea, because looking at everybody else's biopics, I mean, it didn't happen for them. But for some reason, Aaliyah is like, maybe her family never really reconsidered it, or maybe they have, but maybe they just don't feel it's the right time. We just really don't know, because I don't want to be like putting words in other people's mouths. But since I was listening to like other people's opinions, and I was reading other people's opinions, I feel like it needs to happen. She deserves one. Now, I do, if it happens, I would like it to be on the big screen. And as long like there's a big budget behind this film, and also the finances are right, I believe that if people do it right, and like we get the right actress to play Aaliyah, I think it can be a success. I believe it will, because I feel like since Aaliyah is still relevant, even though she's gone, at least her presence is music, and music is still alive. And I also feel like Aaliyah, for somebody to portray Aaliyah, I think, and here's my honest opinion, it's better off like it would be somebody new, up and coming to like the entertainment business. Because even as I reflect back, before back down memory lane, Minnie Riperton style, Keisha Shantae was supposed to play Aaliyah. She's a singer. She used to host 106 in Park, and then Zendaya, she got offered the role of that Lifetime catastrophe, but she turned it down. And then we already know, like I said, someone else had got the role as well. But Aaliyah, for someone to play Aaliyah, they would have to study her. They would have to, I would, in my opinion, they would have to be a fan. That's just me. Now, maybe they don't have to be a huge fan, but really, to be honest, they would have to be a fan. I'm sorry, not sorry. They would have to be a fan, because you know what? I think that for people to appreciate like people, the music, and what they've done in like culture, it would have to be somebody that is an Aaliyah fan, that has the talent, that has the look, that has the appeal, that can sing and dance. And really, I want a black actress to play Aaliyah. I want a black, young, talented actress, singer to play Aaliyah, and close to the complexion of her skin color. If it be a little bit tad off, that's fine. But Aaliyah's skin color was like a brown skin caramel kind of color, because it's like, since Aaliyah fans, we want to see a biopic. We really, really want Baby Girl's legacy to be still respected. Now, I feel like if not a big budget movie in the theaters, do it on Netflix or on BET. And no, I do not want a series. I really think Aaliyah shouldn't deserve it. I don't really think a series would be necessary, because yes, I understand, like I said, I know about, like, okay, perfect example, the Bobby Brown story. He got a series like leading up to like his life story, and told his biography and his biopic. Even the New Edition movie. Okay, fine. I kind of feel like Aaliyah's story should be told from start to finish. I feel like just like Straight Outta Compton, NWA, their story was told from start to finish. There was no series. I feel like for Aaliyah, and we're talking about Aaliyah, we're talking about the Princess of R&B, she needs a whole biopic. Same thing with Selena. Because really, I think it's fair. I think Aaliyah's biopic should be a full movie. And make sure that the people behind the scenes, like, they get in contact with her family. And like I said, if her family decides one day, if they want to, if we get a biopic anytime, any year in the future, her family will have to sit down behind the scenes with people that they knew of, and tell her story the best of their ability, of their knowledge of, like, what kind of person was she, how she was overall as a person. We need to like get to her biography from the time where she was born to into her adolescence. In between those years, like, she was into music, and then, in her adolescent teen years, she was getting into, like, I know I know she performed on Star Search. So like, show us like how in a biopic that how she was able to make connections in the music business, and she was able to showcase her talent, like her journey, like following her dreams, pursuing her dreams to be a singer and an artist. Also, and guess what? I'm going to have to say I don't have to say his name because I don't want to say his name. Because this is another important factor. I know this is going to be fishy, and I know it's going to be touchy, it's going to be cringy. But unfortunately, it is part of her legacy because her ties with you know who, her connections with you know who, her uncle Barry Hankerson. Okay, like how she started her music career at such a young age, and her ties. Like what I'm saying is that was part of her life, even though it was some messed up scenes going on behind the scenes, like her debut album, how that came about, and also a little bit more detail, like how she was able to like maneuver, get through, overcome, and be resilient from all the chaos and all the ugly stuff, and but still continue to push forward. Her connections with like Missy Elliott and Timbaland and Static Major and Magoo. Like I said, her connections with her peers in music, creating her sophomore album, One in a Million, and also up until, like I said, get into her acting, got into like the whatchamacallit. I know it was just like I forgot the name of that movie she was in. I think they was fighting some aliens or something. And also like Romeo Must Die. And also like I said in recording of like her third album. So like, the Romeo Must Die, behind the scenes, all of that. And then recording her third album, the self-titled The Red Album. And then like I said, the Queen of the Dam, and up until she had to pass away, And in between, the music. The music is so important because Aaliyah's music catalog is very important. So if they decide to make a biopic, they're going to have to make sure that her music is played throughout the whole entire movie. Also, make sure, because it's like, see, what needs to happen as soon as possible is get all her music on like digital outlets, on iTunes and everywhere else. That needs to get done first. I did a rant about that on my last rant. It was called rant number 31. That needs to get done as soon as possible. Okay, within the next couple of years, as soon as possible. Really, I feel like maybe within a 2-year span or 3-year span. Okay, because I understand time is the essence, but her uncle Barry Hankerson, he need to do something with that. Whatever legal stuff, legal trouble they're having right now with her estate and all that, they're gonna have to figure something out how to get her music on all platforms, because Aaliyah fans, we really feel like that Aaliyah deserves everything because she worked so hard for it. And I know and understand that, like I said, critics can say otherwise. Fine, people can have their opinions. You have the right to agree or disagree. But I feel like as an Aaliyah fan, every time I turn on my TV, I see a biopic of Selena, biopic of the Jackson 5, the Jacksons, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner. Perfect example. Angela Bassett, she nailed that role of Tina Turner. I love that Tina Turner movie because Tina Turner was still alive and blessed to tell her story as well. But also Angela Bassett, she was able to study her music, to get into the routine of her performances and really like portray Tina Turner and really like give like her performance, like really have that like authenticity, that originality, and be able to really captivate her audience with playing Tina Turner. That's why I feel like I don't really think, especially like it has to be someone that will really pull it off. I really feel like it would have to be a young fresh talent that can really pull off her appeal, her aesthetic, her looks, her talent, the singing and dancing. I feel like who can really, really pull it off, there are a few options. Because I think, I'm trying to think like who's like really new and current. Okay, that Aaliyahs girl, she's an R&B singer. I think she can pull it off. I also think Keke Palmer can pull it off, regardless. Period. Regardless of her skin complexion. I mean, and really, I understand, like I said, reputation matters, but Keke Palmer is another actress. She's been in the game for a while, and I love Keke Palmer too. I think Keke Palmer can pull off Aaliyah. I really think Keke Palmer can bring that essence of Aaliyah, because I have seen her pay tribute and paid homage to Aaliyah, and she can sing and dance too. And I think Keke Palmer really brings something new and different to the table, like that nostalgia of Aaliyah. Like, I could tell because she's a student of like the arts and her singing and dancing, and she's able to like captivate the audience with like her overall talent. Who else? I think I really don't really can't really think of anyone else, because it's kind of like it's going to have to be like the right person, like at the right time. And also it's going to have to take a lot of patience too, because I understand like even like Team Aaliyah were like, well, we want a biopic, but I feel like Aaliyah deserves one, because why not? I don't see why she shouldn't get a biopic. I don't see why she shouldn't even get one to begin with, because just like I said, other people have passed on, and other people have lived on too, and they've gotten their biopics. So it's like with Aaliyah, I believe that she deserves it, because she really worked so hard to like really get to that stardom. Now we understand, unfortunately, she couldn't continue doing what she was doing, because unfortunately she tragically passed away at a young age of 22. What she has accomplished a lot at the age of 22, within a 7-year time span of her music career, she has accomplished a lot in like during that time span of her life. But at the same time, I think that Aaliyah, basically, for the fans, I mean, we can get the ball going. We can start a petition, just like we did with the Mac. I think Aaliyah fans should take into consideration, because just like how the fans took the initiative, like we as a whole took the initiative to put a petition of the Mac collection that came out a couple years ago, and it happened. A biopic can happen again. I really feel like it can happen. I believe that it can happen. I have faith, because really, Aaliyah is still loved to this day, and I feel like even looking at how other people's perspectives, other fans' perspectives, shout out to my brother Tony, and Tony made some really good points too about how, we just want to see her biopic, because one, she was such a huge inspiration and influence in R&B music. And a lot of people, she was the representation of R&B music. She was young, very gifted, very talented, one of like the young, gifted, talented female R&B singers that emerged like in the 90s up into the 2000s. And we were able to really like see her grow, see her progress, and see her becoming her own artist, and see her becoming that artist that she was always destined to be, being her own artist, taking risks, being the next Aaliyah, because there will never be another Aaliyah, period. There was only one Aaliyah, because I don't want people to be coming up in here trying to start stuff, because like I said, and I feel like, it's really bittersweet, but if we can really like get the ball going, we're just gonna have to take matters to our own hands. And I feel like we're gonna have to really like, it's like strategically, it's kind of like, if you want something done, you have to go after it. You have to go after it. You have to go out and get it. You gotta have like that go-getter mentality, because I understand from the perspective of like other fans, and some fans are saying, well, it's just past due. But I feel like, no, why not? I mean, I feel like never say never, because Aaliyah basically was such a breath of fresh air and a gem in music. And so also, we also want like this new generation to get to know who she is, who she, was about, what was she like, why was her music impactful, like, and how did she become the face of R&B music, her music captivated a lot of her fans at such a young age, and like older fans as well along the throughout the years. And I also feel like for this next generation too, I don't feel like it's like a biopic can happen, and listen, it don't have to happen like right away. And you know why? Because I'm gonna tell you something. That catastrophe that came out years ago, it was so funny how that had happened, and I don't know why it happened. Even the fans, we don't know why it even happened, and really the way how it just put together, like just whatever, thrown together like it was nothing. And then, like I said, so that that's irrelevant. But I feel like for an Aaliyah biopic, I would say give about maybe 5 or 6 years. This is my opinion. This is why, because I feel like 5 or 6 years could be a good time span for like, cause you know what, I know behind the scenes with her family, I know they have some things coming up in the works. I'm sure that they have other things and surprise for the fans to still keep her legacy alive and to still keep promoting her music, her talent, what she was about, and let her name live on forever. But I also feel like if we could just keep the more, it's almost like it's the same thing with the Mac collection. What's the difference? If we keep, it's, and this is being positive, I don't see it as a demand. I don't see it like, oh, like Aaliyah should have a biopic as soon as possible. Aaliyah need to have a biopic. But it's more like she needs to have a biopic, period. She needs to have a biopic done the right way, period. She needs to have a biopic that will really bring in a new generation. Those who haven't heard of her, those who don't even know her as an artist, who haven't grew up with her. So that way she can really, like, her biopic will speak for itself. Her journey on becoming the artist that she was destined to be. And she did live through it, and she did live it, up until she had passed away. She lived through her accomplishments. She was pretty much was able to connect with her fans and her audience, and her music spoke for itself. And she was very successful within the 7 years of her music career. And I also feel like, we need to make it happen. We gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And and I feel like even for someone to play Aaliyah, it has to be done right. It has to be authentic. The person has to have like all the ingredients. It's like you have to have all the ingredients of a recipe. It has to be really authentic, original. It has to taste good, the flavor. We can't have anybody just play Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying. But it's like we have to have somebody that have that talent. You gotta be talented. And I feel like Aaliyah should, we gotta represent baby girl. She deserves it. I mean, hell, it's been how many years? Almost what? 20, let's see, 2001, 10, 2000, 2001, 2001, 2011, that was 10 years. Ooh, yeah, that'll be almost what, 20 years after her passing? So we're gonna have to really figure out a way how to still keep that biopic, like we do want a biopic, and I want to see it happen. So like I said, we want it to happen, and if it does happen at any time during the years, I say give about 5 or 6 years. Give about 5 or 6 years, because she could have that. It's almost like she could have. It's like a biopic to honor like who she was. Now, I also think that the biopic should come out on her birthday. You know why? Because since we celebrate her birthday on like January 16th every single year, and the reason why I say August 25th is like, I know, like I said, because that's the day that she had passed away. I think as a birthday celebration and as a tribute, The biopic should come out on her birthday. But the thing is too, I know at the movie theater, I know movie theaters like they come out, with the movie dates, and maybe Netflix or BET would be a great idea. I think Netflix or BET would be a great idea. Those two would be options because really I think the biopic being on her birthday, being released on her birthday, will give like the fans more like an honor, and a sense of like, people will know, oh okay, that's Aaliyah's birthday is January 16th. Oh okay, her biopic is out on January 16th for her birthday. I think it would be a great way to like really like the icing on the cake. I think because I'm thinking of strategic moves. I'm thinking about like, how should we really support her, and how we should really, go in, just, show love to her. So with that being said, I feel like Aaliyah, like I said, she has always influenced a lot of artists, even the artists that her peers that she grew up with in music, even the artists that coming out of this generation. And I also feel like, since we're talking about Aaliyah here, because it's kind of like this, guys, it's a catch-22, and I understand like people, they have their own personal opinions about like her biopic, but because of how I was looking at the other fans' reactions, their opinions, and I was looking at Tony Turner's video, it's like she deserves it, because if I see everybody else's biopic except for Aaliyah, and no, we're not counting that garbage, that doesn't even count, that don't even matter anyway. But yeah, and I love the fact that like we just want her legacy to still flourish. We want her legacy to still be like Aaliyah, just being one of the great artists of her generation, and how she was steadily able to connect with her fans, her audience. She was able to stay consistent with her music. She had her own sound, her image, her look, and she was able to really be authentic and connect with people and be relatable. And that's why I love the fact that Aaliyah, she really, really was just able to really come out with something different, something innovative, something unique, new, fresh with her music. And I'm gonna tell you something. The biopic needs to show Aaliyah's great, man, my voice is getting hoarse. Aaliyah's, like I said, the actress got to make sure that Aaliyah's dancing skill wise, because I know how people love to say, how her critics love to say, oh, Aaliyah wasn't all that as a dancer, Aaliyah wasn't that all as a singer. Okay, they can just watch her live performances. We want to see like her when she getting ready to perform. What's on them songs? At Your Best, Back and Forth, man, We Need a Resolution, 1 in a Million, Rock the Boat, More Than a Woman. We want to see the aesthetic. Like we want to see like the costumes, the looks, everything, the same thing. But it has to happen with the right team, the right budget, the right finances, and also Ali's family. They got to be on board. So really, we got to get the permission from them. So that being said, I feel like Diane Halton and Rashad Halton, they should also be like behind the scenes, being executive producers of her film, her biopic. And also we can have like a little bit of like the behind the scenes footage too. Like they can have like their own like memorial, like their own like, talk behind the scenes, maybe behind like near like the end of the movie, like what she was about and how she was able to really, really showcase that gift that she had, and she was able to take the world by storm. So with that being said, guys, that's all I have to say for right now. So how do you guys feel about Aaliyah's biopic happening? Do you believe that she deserves one? Please let me know down below. Please not be afraid to express yourself on this channel, because I love engaging with my subscribers. And as always, guys, as an Aaliyah fan, I rep baby girl forever. # Team Aaliyah. So with that being said, please not be afraid to like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Please not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Please not be afraid to hit that notification button. And as always, stay tuned on the next episode of Get Sense 92 Dragon Ball Z Narrated Reference. Peace. Bye bye. You girls asking out. And this Super Saiyan is out.